Alright, so I'm really mad because I actually had this game commentated live, so I'm doing it after the fact, which kind of sucks, but it'll be okay. So I'm playing Gishki, playing against Madolches. I just wanted to like kind of show you guys what the deck's all about and how it goes. So I think I'm waiting on this guy to decide if he's decide some bullshit. I don't know, but oh yeah, he ended up taking too long, so I got to join another game. And let's get this started. Let's see if I can make this bigger for me to commentate with. There we go. So now we end up going first, and Gishki's. I'm not playing the FTK. We're doing the OTK. So we have a pretty good starting hand. So we're gonna pitch our Searcher, get our Ritual spell. We are going to then summon our Abyss, which is going to get us the Searcher for the Ritual monster. Vision and Shadow, respectively. And again, I was talking throughout this entire duel, so you may notice me kind of slow down. It's because I'm actually talking, but the audio didn't record for some reason. So we are now going to go ahead and get our Zealgigas, which is the boss monster for Gishki that just came out in Hidden Arsenal. 3200 attack, 10 star, 0 defense. And now we're just going to do the super cheap thing of looping those two that we just used to search back into our deck, actually back into our hand, and then do some more search. So it's going to make huge, it's a +1 inherently when you have them in the grave, and then you're just going to search more. Zealgigas, we'll talk about him while we're doing the searches for the other two. 3200 attack, 0 defense, it's kind of meh, but you know, Book of Moon's not very popular right now. So my stroke is really your main threat there. His effect is awesome. You pay 1,000 life points, and you draw a card. If it's a Gishki, return one card on the field back into the deck. Your card, their card. And you're going to see me use its effect here. And I'm going to try to just get an extra card for 1,000. And I end up actually drawing a Gishki, which isn't a bad thing. I just spin that Abyss that's on the field back into the deck. And it's not a terrible play. I pretty much swapped out a useless card into the Abyss. That's what I'm showing right on the screen. I swapped out the useless card in the Abyss for a useful card that I'll use later on. So we're going to end up with a pretty nice field. I end up setting the MST more as a kind of more as a threat to them, a bluff. So we spin that back in. We get our free card. And we're going to go ahead and set. Now, if my opponent had a card on the other side of the field, that 1,000 life points nets us a +2. Because not only do we get the Gishki card, but we also spin one on their field back. So it's quite amazing when that works properly. We have a pretty good setup for our next turn as well. And we'll kind of get into that next turn. They end up playing Madolches, so we're sitting on a 3,200 attack monster. So barring something crazy, they don't get to get around it. They do have the Dark Hole. So that would suck if we didn't have the Monster Reborn. So we'll be able to reborn that back next turn and do some more shenanigans. So they summon this adorable piece of crap right here, Mufile or whatever, and it lets him special summon one from his hand. He's going to get this one that searches out the spells and the traps, and he ends up getting the field spell. I think Gishki are Tier 2.5, Tier 3, somewhere in there. This build in particular. The FTK kind of gets shit on by Prophecy Sides, Droll Mockbirds, and Anti-Spell Fragrance, and Eradicators. It pretty much makes the deck obsolete. So we're not really going to be focusing on that too much. So he's going to get his damage in. Since it's 1,000 every time you use Zealgigas, you want to kind of protect your life points as much as you can. So he gets these hits in here, which what it translates to is 3 less times I can use my Zealgigas effect. That's the way I kind of look at my life points. So next turn we're going to go for game. I think I come up a little bit short because my Zealgigas spins didn't work too well. I also overextended for the sake of the video, which I say in the actual commentary that didn't get recorded. But we're going to go ahead and he's going to set 2, and the card I'm fearing is Bottomless, so we're in the end phase. We're going to do the pro play of MSTing a random card. Kind of had to, so we do go ahead and MST, and I do hit the Bottomless, which would have hurt my next play. It wouldn't have put me out, but it would have put a nice dent in what I was trying to do. So our turn comes back around. I'm going to show you an awesome play mixing your Zealgigas with the Madolche to get the most bang for your buck. So we do first go for the Monster Reborn. We have other plays in our hands, but I want to bait out any warning, anything like that that may come into play later, because he doesn't know what my hand is, aside from the stuff I searched out. So he doesn't know that I have the 2 Gishki Beasts. So rather than go for the Gishki Beast first, which I would have wanted to have anyway, I go ahead and get the free Zealgigas with the Monster Reborn. Instead of spinning right then and there, I'm going to go ahead and go into Madolche, because I'm pretty sure that it's going to be like a Mirror Force or a D-Prison or something like that. So I know it's not, you know, torrential. It's not going to be, it could be a Lance or something like that. I don't think it is, because he doesn't even chain it when it goes off. I'll actually have to go back and look at what it was. I still don't know what it is. I didn't watch the replay. So we're going to stack the Monster Searcher, the Vision, back onto the top of our deck with our Madolche, which is going to allow us to use Zealgigas effect. We're guaranteed that it's a Gishki, so we're going to be able to spin a card back in the deck automatically. I end up doing the back row because I am fearing the Mirror Force, and we don't have any way to deal with the Mirror Force, so it's asking me what do I want to put back in the deck. I want to put in that back row. So now I have the opportunity to go into yet another Zealgigas, which I am going to do, and try to spin. If I get the effect to go off to bounce one of these monsters back, I win this turn. If I don't, then it's going to extend an extra turn. And you're actually going to see that, for the sake of the video, after I fail, I guess you can kind of call it a fail. After I don't get the bounce back on this turn, I go for a third Zealgigas, using one of the ones on the field as material, which I don't really advocate. I was really trying to go for game, trying to go glitz and glamour. So we do end up drawing a card, it's Fiendish Chain, which ends up coming into play later, so it wasn't a terrible draw. So now we're going to go ahead and search out another Gishki Aqua Mirror and use another Zealgigas. We're going to trade in one of them so we can try to use the effect one more time, because again, this is game if I can get this effect off. You do have a pretty good chance of it going off, but as you'll see, it doesn't really work out that way for me here. But it's a good way to show, it shows a few different things, how you can extend your plays with Zealgigas effect, how Madolche plays into the deck, how all these things are coming together. I mean, a lot of people, I see a lot of Gishki decks and they're just, honestly, they're bad. So we're going to try to use Zealgigas again, and we don't get it. We do get a Trag, which, again, is not a bad card to get. So what we're looking at is we're going to attack him down to, I think, like 900 life points. That's what it ends up being. So, big guy over there, biggest. He's 21. Now, if I could have spun that 21 back into the deck, I would have had game this turn. So, it's kind of a bummer that we didn't get it for it, but it's kind of interesting for the sake of the video to be able to show what you're able to do. So we're going to do big damage on the small guy now, and then we're going to attack with the Madolche last, just in case he does have a Gore sitting there. Oh, actually, no, I go attack with the Madolche because even if it's a Gore's, I can attack in for 3,200, and I'll just overlay into Gustav Max and win. Hindsight, this was a bad play. No, I'm not fearing Gores because of the field spell. Okay, there we go. I was like, why am I not fearing Gores here? Because he did have the field spell, so that's why I wasn't fearing Gores. So, now we have the opportunity. We have him down very low. We know we can win next turn, so we're going to go ahead, get him down to his last 900 life points with the Gustav Max, and then we'll have the Gustav Max for next turn. So he's on a timer right now. He's already used his Dark Hole, so we know he's not going to Dark Hole our shit away. So he needs to either draw a Veiler or a Fiendish Chain or something to save his life, and put Presence on the field, which we know he can because he has added Madolche's back to his hand. He does the play of summoning Mewfold, so I'm like, he either has a Lance or MST, but I don't have any choice other than to really let him. He baited it out successfully, but I don't have a choice really other than to make him use it here. So I force out the Lance after he forces out the Fiendish Chain. So he actually gets the better end of me there, but you know, I had to use it at that point. So he's going to get his Madolche ticket, which isn't going to do anything for him. So I think he ends up activating ticket and setting a monster, or setting a back row, and I'm assuming the back row is like a Mirror Force or a Torrential or something. I don't really know what it was. Again, I'll go back and look at the replay, but yeah, he pretty much is out of options here. He's already missed it. I end up just dropping Trag because I can, and I know he doesn't have Dark Hole or anything. So we now have Trag out there. Trag is also material for Zealgigas. You don't want to use him for Zealgigas unless you absolutely have to. So we're just gonna Gustav Max for game here. I figured he may have had the Fiendish Chain, but he didn't.